Hi there. Hi, everyone. It's such a big pleasure to be here. And I really feel the power of community, when we host such events and I see new people, I see familiar faces, and this is beautiful. Let's grow together. And thank you for this opportunity and invite to speak and present. And I thought to use this event to talk a little bit more what Web3 means beyond technologies, because obviously here everyone is a part of Web3 and we are all creators, builders, early adopters, lovers. And what is behind those technologies? That's what I want to focus on today. And just before I jump into all these topics, I would like to briefly introduce myself. So yes, I'm Ksenia Stark. I'm an entrepreneur and consultant for organic growth, digital strategist, and also founder of MDX and Choice. So my personal background comes from, again, digital strategist, brand strategist, from bringing brands from offline to online. I worked in strongly regulated industries, gambling, telecom entertainment services, adult, and actually the other founder of all the initiatives is here in the audience, Alexandra. So we do everything together, and we had quite a journey, more than 7 years, knowing each other and brainstorming and getting to understand that digital industry is very unfair and it created a very unfair ecosystem, especially for the users. So when we think of, platform economy, and as we are coming from more media sector and advertising, even from that perspective, the abusage of data is quite high. And right now, for example, if we think of advertising, so there are around 400, no, even 600 billions were spent last year on advertising, and 80% goes to middlemen and fraud. So what we started with MDX is actually getting to understand what can be the sustainable future of media consumption and media distribution when we fairly balance ecosystem and also think of sustainability from technology perspective, but also content. And that's how we also came to the part where diversity and inclusion are quite vital values. And we do see Web3 not only as a semantic web and all the technologies coming together, but also an opportunity for us to rebuild and reinvent ecosystem with the right values at the core. So starting on that, diversity and inclusion are quite important values to myself as well. I mean, I'm a female founder, and even though I had a really great support from Alexander, of course, I understand that we are still far from being diverse and inclusive. And also diversity and inclusion are the terms that are not fully understood by the audience. And when we think of diversity, it's actually all about numbers. So it's just a proportional variety of age, gender, sexuality, ethnicity we have in our environment. While when we speak of inclusion, that's about impact. And it's giving a voice and power to everyone with fair treatment. And what we saw as well during our research that even on linguistic level, for example, I'm originally from Russia, and diversity and inclusion do not exist in the Russian language as such. So when we think of diversity, it comes to biodiversity. So there is a kind of like education needed on these terms, even for the crowd and the audience. And moving to the part of biases, I would like to bring up a very interesting term, and I did see Luti in this space. I don't know if he's still there, but he inspired me for a very interesting term, which is a Greek term, kamaki. And I want to introduce you this term today. So actually it means that it's a special Greek name for the man who is basically hitting on women, but promoting Greek culture and Greek destinations. It's very specific to be true. But with this example, we understand how biases are being formed, is that even that specific person is being labeled for a certain behavior, for a certain ethnicity and location. And I also have another quote from from an article where they were giving advice how to become kamaki in different cultures. And if you want to become kamaki in Greece, and attract gay men, the advice is that if you're so unappealing that not one gay tourist hits on you, you can stroll over the Piero's club and ask the DJ to play I Want You Like Crazy so you can dance on the bar. For what is worse, someone is bound to catch on. So this is an actual article, and right now we understand that the biases are all around us. And maybe let's break it down a little bit, because in the end, from what we see, there is no unbiased person. This person does not exist. We're all biased in a certain way. And it's our human nature to assign judgment based on first impressions. And here I kind of took out the categories of bias. So this is mostly when we have biases, we base it on race, ethnicity, gender, religion, sexual orientation, social economic background, educational background. And we need to be aware of those biases in order to start working on them. And we have some cognitive bias, we have prejudice, and also unconscious bias that are mostly fallen into those categories that I just mentioned. And then the question is, why should we even care about all what's happening about diversity and inclusion? Well, apart from, understanding humanitarian culture and feeling that that's the way forward for the whole global community, we also understand that we enter the era of AI, and we need to find the right approach to create unbiased results for the data. And of course, another strong point that's worth mentioning is the direct economic benefit. Diverse teams do perform 80% better in terms of creativity, efficiency, hence they produce economic benefit for the company because they do create the products for the broader audience, meaning that you ensure that your products are as inclusive as possible so they target more people. If we're just not talking about just social part, which, is more important for me, because that's how I see other people. I talk to humans. I don't talk to male, female, or any other label that you want to put. We need to make an effort and start talking to each other as humans, which is much harder than, just putting boxes on people from the beginning. And then how would we tackle it? And the answer is community. Also, if we think of a data perspective, it's quite expensive for the companies to adopt like a broad data sets. And in order to create a more inclusive input and not garbage in, garbage out, you need to crowdsource the data. And that's what we are doing also in Choice. We offer you to choose your own reality. And I'm really happy to see so many community members today also coming and more people joining. So we are a decentralized community that stands for LGBTQI+ and accelerates the culture of diversity, equity, and inclusion through secure and immersive technologies. And we are already 15 plus core members and more than 1,000 community members, and we are growing every day. And also the decentralization comes that we have more than 25 countries involved, and we're always like trying to count how many people come to our events and where are they from, because that's how we form those different perspectives. All together we shape it as a community. And the initiative I want to focus on today is Global Digital Pride. And this is an initiative from our community where we try to unite creators, brands, tech companies, and educational institutions to stop the rainbow washing and to show the example of how diversity and inclusion can be brought to life and enjoyed by all using the immersive technologies. It's quite an ambitious campaign because we go to 50 plus countries and 40 plus cities, and we create a cultural experience because we understand that Pride Month, it's exactly rainbow washing, but Pride started already in February in Australia and New Zealand. We celebrated Miami Pride and Tokyo Pride in April, and it's a celebration throughout the year. So it's not only about the month. It's a celebration of life. It's a celebration of cultures, and immersive technologies allow us to gather together and learn from each other, learn from the local communities. So we hosted already 11 prides. And it was Miami, Tokyo, Brussels, Cyprus, Israel, Baltics. I can't like already count all of them, but yeah, this is actually the photo from our last Pride on Ibiza in a beautiful space by Schmerz. I also saw him jumping in the space, and yeah, thank you, Schmerz, because he was an amazing host. A lot of bugs were happening, but community was so supportive, and we were trying to make it work. And actually, Shmers granted us the space as well, and we can't be more happy. The beautiful things come out of this campaign, and normally we host on Spatial, and around 300 people visiting our events, supported by community. We did try on Cyber as well. We are planning more engagement with Decentraland, and some of the events are being streamed to Decentraland. So we also think of this cross-community strategy and how can we bring all platforms together in the interoperable way. And we have several directions. Let me know about the video. We have different directions in our campaign. We do push digital fashion because we believe it's the way of expressing yourself, bringing the identity, also showing the cultural aspects. It's a very, let's say, strong point to adding to sustainability as well. So the collaborations that you see right now actually was from Miami Pride. This is a wearable designed by Giancarlo Pazzanis. He was a lecturer at Amsterdam Fashion Academy, and he donated this jacket for us. He designed also the patterns. So one of them was inspired of Sonia Delay. She was a queer like icon in Miami in the beginning of 20th century. And another wearable was inspired by the transgender flag. And then we had a further collaboration with Unique Labs and the Immersive Client and some other creators and artists to actually dress Kadin James in this wearable. Was a little bit transformed to the jumpsuit, and yeah, the video is just awesome in a way that it also brings sound, diversity of colors, of movement. It was really beautiful, and that's what we are kind of trying to bring up in this campaign, to give the power to creators, but also push the adoption of those new technologies to explain it to the audience. And we had another collaboration with Visual 3D and Aviat Arik Herman. That was for Israeli Pride. So this is the costume that was designed by Aviat for the performer of Eurovision this year in Israel. The costume was not and then produced, but then we decided to work on the digital version of it. And right now we are also looking for more influencers to wear it and push it forward. So we are kind of open for different types of co-creation. So if you're a digital designer or even like just fashion designer, because for example, Aviat, he is drawing sketches, but that was his first collaboration and experimentation with a digital fashion that he really enjoyed and understood the potential. And another part that I wanted to bring up is our Global Pride art collection. And we are blessed just to have Vortex community, Vertical AI Vortex, and Cactus Boom communities that already started minting so many artworks, because art was a main kind of way of communicating the message for centuries. And we do believe that via art we can also push the message of diversity and inclusion in the crowd, and that's why we have the Global Digital Pride collection. Right now it's mostly an object, Tezos blockchain, and that's where artists can come, collab, and mint their artworks. So here you have artworks from both communities that I'm displaying, and then we have also further artworks from Cactus Boom and Vortex community, but also in the middle you have Olga Shpak. That was the first work that was sold. And Olga is a beautiful artist, was a friend of Alexandra, and she's creating more beautiful things for us. So also you're welcome to join. I think the links are being dropped. The portal is also linked to Global Pride, so you can learn more about all the open calls that we have and join. And as Choice, we are actually building decentralized autonomous organization, and we are not only a community, we will become a foundation to support other communities globally. So right now we are having already petition for LGBTQ plus rights in Africa, and also building the program for Brazilian community. And the way you can join, we do need volunteers. We are looking constantly for people to help us because our campaign is too ambitious. Again, 30 countries, 40 cities. The campaign is until November. A lot of different opportunities for co-creation, and we do need your help because only together we can make an impact. So I would invite you to join our community. Let's co-create. Let's build together. We're already having a lot of partners that are supporting us, and I want you to be our next one. So thank you guys. If you have any questions, I'm happy to jump into the heated discussion about diversity and inclusion, but otherwise it's a beautiful WomenFest. Thank you for giving the stage, and yes, see you soon.